Are you looking for a way to achieve a healthier weight without having to restrict yourself to a cup of plain yogurt and a boiled egg for lunch? Then intermittent fasting is your guy. He doesn't restrict you too much on what you should eat, he's very low maintenance, and word on the street and peer-reviewed journals is that he performs really well. Today's video will spill the beans on what intermittent fasting is, how it works, additional pros and cons, and some tricks on how to make it work optimally for you. First things first, what is intermittent fasting and what's all the rage about it? Intermittent fasting made a splash last 2013 when actor Hugh Jackman revealed that he did intermittent fasting to help him get ripped, no pun intended, for Wolverine. Here, he followed the 16-8 plan, which we'll be talking about more later, on where he ate for 8 hours and fasted during the rest. Without getting too technical about it, intermittent fasting is essentially a pattern of eating and is not to be confused with diet. In intermittent fasting, you have an eating window where you can eat your meals, and then you have a fasting window where you abstain from eating or drinking anything except for zero-calorie beverages such as water, tea, or coffee without sugar and cream. So how exactly does intermittent fasting work, and how does it dramatically help in weight loss? When you eat, your body breaks down the carbohydrates from your food and converts it into glucose, a simple sugar. This increases your blood sugar, aka blood glucose. When this happens, your pancreas releases insulin, a hormone that helps restore normal blood glucose levels by stimulating the absorption of blood sugar into your cells, which in turn gives you energy. Typically, your body won't use all of the carbohydrates from the food you eat. Insulin also helps with that by storing the excess glucose from your blood, bringing it into the liver and storing it there in the form of glycogen. Glycogen is stored in your liver until your pancreas senses that your blood glucose levels are running low. To restore homeostasis or balance in your body, your pancreas will release a hormone called glucagon. Glucagon breaks down glycogen into glucose, which is then released into your bloodstream and restores normal blood sugar levels. This process ensures that you have enough energy throughout the day. Now, this is where the magic begins. Your body will constantly need energy throughout the day, and the glycogen stored in your liver may not be enough for that. When that happens, your body will now tap into alternative sources of energy, such as fat. To access your body's fat supply, it releases fat-burning hormones such as the human growth hormone or HGH, insulin-like growth factor number 1, noradrenaline, triiodothyronine, glucagon, and testosterone. And basically, these hormones help in the fat-burning process, which usually begins 11 hours after your meal. Aside from that, what makes intermittent fasting effective for weight loss is since you only have a limited time frame for eating your meals, you'll be under a caloric deficit since you won't be eating as much food as you would if you weren't doing intermittent fasting. Now that you know what happens on a cellular level when you do intermittent fasting, we'll now share with you the different plans on how you can do it. The first plan, arguably the most popular and easiest one, is the 16-8 method. This is also the plan that we mentioned earlier that Mr. Jackman did in preparation for Wolverine. This method basically lets you have an 8-hour feeding window followed by a 16-hour fasting window. Let's say you ate your first meal at 12 p.m. You have until 8 p.m. to eat anything you want, but when 8 p.m. strikes, you have to start fasting. What's great about this plan is that you won't be able to tell that you're fasting for 16 hours because ideally you'll be sleeping for 8 hours. That leaves only 8 waking hours of fasting to deal with, which is also the reason that makes this pattern easier to stick with in the long term. If you're someone who's just starting out with intermittent fasting, you can ease your way into the 16-8 method by starting with a 12-hour fasting window for the first 1 or 2 weeks. Once your body gets used to this, you can bump up your fasting window to 13, 14, and 15 hours until you reach your goal. Now, if you're someone who's been doing this for a pretty long time, you can definitely try extending your fasting period for up to 20 hours. This not only helps your body improve the fat burning process, but it also provides more additional benefits to your overall health and well-being, which we'll dive into the latter part of this video. What's great about intermittent fasting is that you can tweak it according to your schedule and lifestyle. Let's say you want to follow the 16-8 plan, but you're a huge breakfast person. You can opt to start eating at 7 a.m. and just have your last meal by 3 p.m. It's totally up to you to change it according to how your day goes and how you want it to be. Another popular method is the 5-2 method. In a nutshell, this plan lets you eat regularly for 5 days a week, and then for 2 days, you'll limit yourself to one 500 to 600 calorie meal. Let's say you chose to eat on the weekdays. Saturday and Sundays will be your 1 meal days. Now, there are other plans where you can fast for a longer period of time such as 23, 24, 28, and 72 hours, but experts claim that this poses more risks than benefits, and it may even counteract your main goal of losing weight since prolonged starvation may encourage your body to start storing all your fat reserves instead. With the ABCs of intermittent fasting out of the way, we're now going to share with you some tips on how to do it optimally and boost its weight loss benefits. Number 1. During your eating periods, when we say it's okay to eat anything you want, that doesn't mean you could go nuts and really eat anything you want. Remember, achieving a healthier weight is only possible with discipline, a change in mindset, and a change in lifestyle. You won't lose weight if you eat tons of calorie-rich junk food during your feeding window. When we say that you can eat anything you want, this means that you are allowed to eat a variety of healthy, nutritious, and wholesome food like grains, vegetables, fruits, fish, and white meat. What's great about eating good, healthy food when you're doing intermittent fasting is that it will not only help you lose weight quicker, but it will also make you feel better and it will keep you full for longer when you're already in your fasting state. A definite win-win. Number 2, stay active. To boost the weight loss process up a notch, find an activity that makes you feel good, whether that's walking, Pilates classes, weight training, cycling, swimming, dancing, doing workout classes with your friends, or running with your dogs. The sky is the limit. Just find an activity that you feel good doing and that you can stick to. Number 3, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Your body is made up to 60% water. Whip out your water bottles and remember to stay hydrated throughout the day, especially during your fasting periods. Did you know that sometimes when you feel hungry, you're only thirsty? When you feel a pang of hunger, drink a big glass of water and see how you feel. Your body may be telling you that you need more water and you're only mistaking it for hunger. Now that you know what intermittent fasting is, how to do it, and how to boost its effectiveness, let's move on to its additional benefits as well as its cons. Multiple studies have shown that aside from a leaner and more toned body, intermittent fasting has helped improve mental sharpness and clarity, decrease stress levels, improve tissue health, decrease inflammation, and decrease the chance of developing certain diseases such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, neurodegenerative diseases related to aging, and even cancers. We know what you're thinking. Intermittent fasting is too good to be true. Surely there must be cons, right? Generally, intermittent fasting is safe. There still aren't enough studies to support how safe this is for your health in the long run since this eating pattern is still relatively new. But with all the studies that have been conducted about intermittent fasting, it has shown promising results. And frankly, we may not know the long-term effects of intermittent fasting, but we do know that obesity and leading an unhealthy lifestyle are much worse in the long run. The only time that intermittent fasting isn't safe is if you're under the age of 18, if you have an eating disorder, if you have a history of gastric ulcers, if you're pregnant and or breastfeeding, if you have existing comorbidities, and if you had blood sugar related diseases such as diabetes. It is also important to consult your doctor if you experience any side effects while doing intermittent fasting such as nausea and headaches. In a world where we're prone to overeating and indulging in our gastronomic cravings, surely a bit of fasting here and there is definitely not gonna hurt. Altogether, intermittent fasting has shown promising results in shedding pounds and improving our overall health in an easier manner as compared to other diets that rely on unsustainable fads and ridiculous calorie restrictions. If intermittent fasting sounds attainable and sustainable to you, definitely try it out and see if it's the perfect match for you. This brings us to the end of the video. What did you learn about intermittent fasting today? And have you tried it before? Share with us your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe to make sure you don't miss any of our latest videos. Until next time.